Okay, so today we're going to have a look at Longshore Drift. This is how individual pieces of rock and sand move along the beach. We've already talked about prevailing winds. Just to remind you, a prevailing wind is the direction of the wind most of the time. So let's take the example here. Play this video, and what they will talk about is individual pieces of stone and sand moving along the beach. And here you will see in the video the example of this, the prevailing wind is going in this direction, and the waves will transport material by a process called swash, and that will push it up onto the beach at an angle, and here you can see the angle. Now when we have the backwash, what will happen is the stones will not go down at an angle, they will go down, straight down at 90 degrees to the beach. So if you take it from the perspective of an individual stone, it will be in a kind of zigzag motion, and we call this longshore drift. Do have a look at the processes of transportation as well, and remind you about the 4 processes of transportation. What this means is that if we put groins in the way, and the video will be talking about groins, that if we build a wall here at this dotted line at 90 degrees, either out of wood or of stone, we'll actually slow down the longshore drift. So we'll trap material at this point here where the cursor is. So your beach will build up over a period of time. Of course, we're going to look what happens further down along the coastline, because if you build up the beach in one location, you're going to get a smaller beach in another place further downstream. But we'll look at that in more detail later on. Here's a little diagram. Here you can see that we've got the prevailing wind, that's the direction of the prevailing wind going this way. So material will be pushed up the beach at an angle by the swash, and then the backwash will pull it directly down. So again, we can see that for our individual stones, there is an individual stone, we'll see that it will zigzag across the beach up and down. Now you can see the effects of groins that we talked about before. Groins are sea walls, if you like, built at 90 degrees towards the coastline. So here you can see a groin made out of wood. And the purpose of the groin there is to help slow down longshore drift, so we build up the beach. You can see that longshore drift in this photograph is in this direction. That's your swash coming up at an angle towards you. And then the swash is straight back down. But of course here they've slowed down the process of longshore drift by building the groin. You can see in this photograph the beach will be building up, and you can see it in this photograph as well, where they've built multiple groins. Of course, nothing's for free, and you can see here that effectively they've built up a groin, and you can see the beach building up either side. So that means that you will stop material from getting into your river estuary. Remember, an estuary is where the river joins the sea. This is a great video for watch. Please do watch this video, because it's in a place in Sussex in the UK called Hastings, and here they've built a number of very, very large groins to slow down longshore drift. Watch the video and you'll see the result of this of slowing down the longshore drift and building the groins means that the cliffs no longer are protected by the beach, because in the case of Hastings, and you might like to find this on Google Earth, you've built an absolutely huge sea wall. So here we can see on a sunny, pleasant day, it's very nice. There's the groin, and you can see it's a very large groin, and we've got an absolutely massive beach building up. So this side of the beach, which is where this guy is standing there. This side of the beach you can see has been really built up. Unfortunately, further along you can see that there's absolutely no beach here. So when you watch the video, you will see that the cliff has been eroded very much by the lack of beach and the erosion that we'll be getting there. So watch the video, it's pretty dramatic, and I would also suggest you go into Google Earth or Google Maps and have a look at the satellite view location. Try to find this location in Google Earth. Okay, hope that's helped you to understand the process of longshore drift and building groins. We will look at groins as an example of hard engineering in more detail, but remember, if you build the groins, you will have effects on the estuary further along the coastline, and indeed, as we've seen in the example of Hastings, on the cliffs.